This section heading is called Disabling Default Rule Sets. So our Snort installation comes with a bunch of rule sets by default. The rules within these rule sets are used to fingerprint traffic. These rules are also applied by default, and what we're going to do in a later section is we're going to be creating our own rules. So what we want to do is we want to disable the default rule sets, so we're sure that it's our rule that actually triggered an alert and not one of the default rules. So the first thing that I'm having you do here is actually to take a look at the directory that's used to house all of these rule sets, and that is the rules directory. So I'm going to type ls etc snort and then rules. So inside of that path, right, inside of this directory, we can see all of the default rule sets that come with the Snort installation. So now the way that these are applied when either running in IDS or IPS mode is using an include statement. So these include statements are inside of Snort's configuration file. So if you're using that configuration file when running in any one of those modes, then these default rule sets are being applied. So what we're going to do is we're essentially going to disable them. So now to do this, we're first going to take a look and see where they're being included. So I'm going to type sudo sed, and we're using the -n option. So we want to view lines 503 to 524. So we're just taking a look at where they start to be included within that file. We're not actually going to view all of them, and this is going to, give us an understanding of how we're disabling them. We don't want to have to scroll through the terminal, less steps. So Snort's configuration file is down the following path, and it's snort.conf. So we can see inside of Snort's configuration file, those include statements are down in step 7. So we have an include keyword, we have an environment variable here used to store the path, which we just saw, which was etc snort rules. And then over here, this is the rule set local.rules. So we're going to disable all of these by throwing a comment character in front of them. And again, we're just looking at the first number of lines that are in here. So we're going to disable all of them except for local.rules. The reason we're not going to disable local.rules is because this file's purpose is to test new rules, and that's where we're going to place our rules when actually creating them. Okay, so now to disable all of the other rule sets from being included, we're going to use sed once again, and we're going to edit the in place file. We are going from 513 to 595. We want to substitute now at the beginning of the line, or substitute the beginning of the line with a comment character. So I'll hit enter, and then I'll hit the up arrow key twice. So we can see over here now that we've got a comment character in front of each one of these include statements. So they're no longer being applied.